Hello, fight fans. I'm that boxing writer, Jeremy Harridges, and welcome to the first episode of Boxing and Coffee. This is something a little bit different for me. For a while, I've wanted to put out regular YouTube content, do something a little bit different, give this whole YouTube thing a try. However, I was missing that one key part, which is time. Well, technically, I'm still missing that one key part, which is time. For those of you that don't know, in the daytime, I'm a high school English teacher, and at night, I'm a boxing journalist. So throw a few other factors into that, having a personal life, being a husband and a father of two, and trying to find time gets really difficult. So I'm trying to shoot some videos early in the morning. We're right now at about 6 o'clock Central Time in the morning. So I'm trying to get those videos in before I have to wake up my kids, get them ready for school, and then head off to work myself. So here's for giving it a try. Now I'm also infusing a new element, not just into the regular boxing, but looking at coffee. Yes, coffee. Two of my favorite things, coffee and boxing, or in this case, boxing and coffee. I thought it would be relevant to have some good coffee in the morning because I'm still trying to wake up right now while I'm talking to you. So every month, if I can keep this going for a month, I'm going to feature a specific coffee on this little show of mine. This week, the coffee is called Death Wish. That is an awesome name. I'm sure that you'll enjoy it, and it definitely gets your attention. The thing about Death Wish, it's one of these high caffeine coffees, so it's way more powerful than your average cup of coffee. And I gravitated towards high caffeine coffee purely because, well, I was drinking like 4 or 5 cups of coffee a day. And now that, I'm in the classroom, I'm teaching, I really don't have access to a regular pot of coffee. So I said, all right, let's try to find something that's going to sustain me throughout the day so I don't have to drink 4 or 5 cups of coffee and keep running to the bathroom. And I tried numerous different high caffeine type coffees, and I really like Death Wish. I'm going to be talking about a little different aspect about it throughout, the upcoming month of March. But it's one of my favorite high caffeine coffees, so I'm featuring it this month, and I'll talk about it more in later episodes. Death Wish coffee. Now let's talk boxing. Last night, Thursday, March 4th, there was the Ring City USA main event on NBC Sportsnet, and was coming live from Puerto Rico, featuring a number of great bouts, but of course the main event between Serhii Bohachuk and Brandon Adams, or let's reverse the order since Brandon Adams was victorious. Brandon Adams versus Serhii Bohachuk. Serhii Bohachuk was the favorite for the obvious reason, 18-0, 18 KOs. And then you had Brandon Adams coming in who had a wealth of experience, had some highs, had some lows throughout his career, but you can never count the guy out. 2 fights ago, now 3 fights ago, he looked solid against Jermall Charlo in a middleweight title bout. Didn't win it, lost by unanimous decision, but he gave a solid account of himself, which I don't think can be understated. Brandon Adams was losing much of the fight against Serhii Bohachuk, and then he kept his patience, kept fighting. The ring was slippery. There was a lot of different odd things going on. He was deducted a point in the 3rd round for low blows. He thought it was unfair. I could see where it was justified. Yeah, they were straying low. Would I have taken a point away at that particular moment? No, I don't think so, but I'm not going to sit there and say that the referee was completely out of line for doing so. But he was losing the rounds as they went on and on and on. And here I am watching the fight, trying to take some notes for a recap, which usually when I write a recap for fansided.com, I have to get them out, like as fast as I can. 15 minutes, 20 minutes max. It's got to get out there, got to get to the wire. So I'm trying to prep ahead of time, and I'm assuming that Serhii Bohachuk is going to win this thing by unanimous decision. And looking at the scorecards that were released after the 8th round, that's exactly where it was headed. At that point, it was out of Adams' hands as far as boxing goes. He had to have that knockout. And sure enough, catches Bohachuk with a great left hook, hurts him, follows it up with another left hook, knocks him flat, game over, he wins. So congratulations to Brandon Adams. I spoke to him earlier in the week. Such a nice guy, family man, works hard for his family, really cares about his kids, genuine guy, easygoing, and man, he can talk. And I could sit there and I could listen. He's got story after story after story. If you want to read more about Brandon Adams, go to fansided.com/boxing and check out my interview with him. I put out about 1,000 words on Brandon, and really a nice person. And there are a lot of nice guys in boxing, and I don't think people always realize that when you see kind of the flamboyant personas. And obviously he's a flamboyant persona too. Came out dressed like Scorpion from Mortal Kombat, loves video games, loves superheroes, loves comic books. And I think Brandon really made a statement last night, and it's going to be exciting to see him fight again. Tonight, Friday, March 5th, the big fight. You've got Claressa Shields, probably the pound-for-pound best female boxer in the world right now, versus Mariev Dicaire. So looking at Shields, the real sad part about this fight, and not that it's a sad fight by any means, it's a great fight, but the fact that she's struggling to find someone to broadcast her fights. Now, there's always more than one side to the story. Maybe she's pricing herself out. Maybe she's asking for too much money. However, I think she's justified in receiving a nice chunk of change for a fight of this magnitude. Mariev is not a stepping stone. This is a 17-0 opponent who also has two of the junior middleweight titles. This is a full unification bout, and it's not being carried by a major platform. So kudos to Claressa Shields for going her own, and good for her for championing women's boxing, for standing up for herself against kind of this machine business of boxing and saying, hey, you don't want to put my fight on? Well, I believe in my worth. I'm going to go out there and make sure that this thing works out. And I'll be buying it on pay-per-view tonight. I believe on Fight TV. I've used their app in the past. Always had a great experience with it. High production quality. Never had a problem with the stream. So tonight, I'll be checking out Claressa Shields versus Mariev Dicaire on Fight TV, and I'm looking forward to it. Do I think Shields is going to win? Yeah, I think Shields is going to win. I think her power is too much for Mariev. Now, looking at the stats here, you don't always see the big KOs, but again, you're talking 10 2-minute rounds. That makes a huge difference. That also depresses the number of KOs that you see in women's boxing. But Claressa Shields has pop. She's strong, she's aggressive, and she's skilled. Look at the stats on her. Okay, she's only 10-0, right? So you'd say that she's early within her professional career. She's only 25 years old, still hasn't even hit her physical prime. She's a 2-time Olympic gold medalist, a 2-time amateur world champion. She's been a champion in 3 different divisions. And if she fully unifies tonight against Mariev, that'll be her second fully unified division. How many fighters can say that? I think it's time that she really got recognized for how good she is. I think that it's time that she gets paid for her worth. And I think that it's time that boxing opens itself up more to women's boxing. There's so many great female champions right now that deserve to be recognized. There are people that have been doing it for a long time. You got a great bout coming up between Jessica McCaskill and Cecilia Brækhus. Going to be an excellent rematch bout. The first one was fantastic. Really looking forward to that one. Going to be on DAZN. And that, there are promoters out there that are championing women's boxing. Matchroom Eddie Hearn, Lou DiBella, just some of the names out there that are really pushing this equality within boxing. But to have the best female boxer out there not getting recognized and having to do things on her own, I think that's a sad statement. I think that people should be jumping at the chance to promote her. And like I said, there's always more than one side to a story. I don't know the direct business dealings there, but Claressa Shields knows how good she is. She believes in herself, and she believes in pushing for equality within boxing. And she's really coming out like a hero on this one, because she is. But again, she's not alone. As I said before, Cecilia Brækhus has been doing this for a long time, and Amanda Serrano, who's been out of the ring longer than she should have been. Yeah, she fought last December. She fought 2 times in 2020. 2020 obviously was a very problematic year with the pandemic and COVID-19, but she should have had more fights than that. She probably should have had the fight with Katie Taylor. Again, this idea that there's more than one side to a story. You've got Matthew Minetti saying, she wasn't agreeing to terms, and then she's saying, wait a second, you tried to reduce my purse by half or more than half. So, yeah, there's problems there. But Amanda Serrano is going to be in the ring later in the month on another Ring City USA show. She's going to be headlining. She's going to be center stage. I just talked to her 2 days ago. There's going to be a big feature on Fansided about her. And yeah, let's pay attention because women are doing great things in boxing. Looking at Amanda Serrano, you're talking about someone that's a 9-time world champion across 7 different divisions. How many boxers can say that they've won titles in 7 different divisions? That's crazy. And I don't think that stat gets recognized enough. I think people are starting to pay attention, but I think it's a cause where it's the collective of women's boxing proving itself to be a force, and it's taking fighters like Cecilia Brækhus, Jessica McCaskill, Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor, and Claressa Shields to really make an impact. And there's so many others that people don't even know about. And I think that the more that they get out there, that people see the performances, that people see the heart, that it's going to go out there full string, and more people are going to tune in. More people are going to pay attention, and there's going to be a much bigger platform for women's boxing. But I think Claressa Shields really stepping up tonight and making a statement. And I bet you the next time she steps into the ring, it's going to be with a major promotional outfit broadcasting this thing, because that's what she's worth. She is that good, and she deserves it. So tonight, Claressa Shields, Mariev, Dicaire, get ready for it. Fight TV, I'll be buying, and yeah, that's about all I've got. I got to go teach some classes, and then later on I'll be writing about some boxing, and I'll be writing the recap tonight for fansided.com. Make sure to check it out. Make sure to check me out. Fansided.com/boxing is where most of my work is housed. You can also check me out at thatboxingwriter.com. Please please subscribe, and I'm going to sit back and enjoy this good cup of coffee before I head off to work. Have a good one, everybody. Thanks.